Today we will discuss about the spiritual aspirant and the qualifications of a person who wants to be a disciple under a guru. Now, since you already had some discussion, please tell me, Shubhadeep, in a nutshell, what are the qualifications a disciple should have?
So I already discussed the four disciplines, the Viveka, Vairagya, Shatasampatti and Mumukshutvam. And out of these four, the last one, the desire for liberation or self-realization is the primary qualification that a spiritual aspirant should have, and the rest follows one after the other. So we had a small 10 minutes discussion on this.
Mainly, we should have first qualification is you should have Viveka, that is discernment. You should know what is real and what is unreal. You should know what will take you towards God or the ultimate reality, what will take you away from God or ultimate reality. And then you should also have dispassion, vairagya. You should be not attached to anything which will take you away from the ultimate reality or which will take you away from your goal of God realization or finding the ultimate truth. And then you should have control over various things. They are called Shama, Adi, Shatka, Sampatti. The six qualities of Shama, Dama, Upariti, Titiksha, Samadhana, etc. That you should have. And then you should also have Mumukshutva, the desire to know the truth, the desire to put an end to suffering. That you should have. These are the qualities of a spiritual aspirant. You already were discussing, so now I ask Anna to tell me something about what she understands of dispassion.
Dispassion, I think it's just being neutral. Being neutral, so not just observing and not taking things as positive or negative or personal, just being dispassionate.
It is just being neutral, not thinking of anything. So if you get anything, you're not happy, you're neither sad, etc. So you're not attached, basically. That is what dispassion is about. And what is Viveka?
And not judging.
And not judging, yes. And what is Viveka, Vyomkesh?
Viveka means
it is discerning
between real or unreal.
Real or unreal, or what I have to do and what I should not do, etc. One thing I want to tell here, it is very easy for us to do all these things when we are doing good, when we have good resources, when we are having enough to eat or wear, etc. But when we are in a problematic situation, when we are undergoing some kind of problem, then it is not possible to, or it is difficult. It's not possible, means it's very difficult to practice both dispassion and also discernment, Viveka, Vairagya, etc. So most of us are now comfortably placed in our lives, and so we can discuss it. But please remember that the testing times are not these. The testing times are when you go through a lot of suffering. And even then, if you maintain all these, then it means that you are going on the right path. So how do you know that a student or a disciple is qualified? Now, I am putting this question to all of you. If these were the qualifications, then how many of you think that you are qualified?
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody as of now. For my side, I am not.
Anna?
But I am practicing. When I am getting such difficulties, I am trying to be.
No, whether Anna is qualified.
I'm going to be neutral
No, tell the truth.
and dispassionate and not judging.
No, but tell the truth. Tell the truth. Are you qualified?
I think humanity is lost, and it's just it seems like it's impossible. And sometimes there comes a time where it seems like it's very simple, and we're just not getting it.
Right.
So that is the situation. So how difficult it is to get a spiritual disciple or a student for spirituality. So what do you think of starting a spiritual life, as in where you actually go to a guru and get a diksha?
I'm thinking to take actually initiation that at Swamiji, one of his book, he says like the spiritual power should transfer from soul to soul. So like believing on that statement, I should start. And one more thing, you also explained in our last call, like we have to go to the Guru, not Guru going to come to us. So uh, thinking on that, I'm thinking to take the initiation. And
Okay, now,
but
yeah, tell me.
yeah, but I'm also like um, I have on doubt like when I'll take the initiation or when I'll take this initiation, then how I'll feel that spirit is coming on myself. It is
You
by
see,
practicing.
if you felt that, then it would be wonderful. But it may not be always that you are feeling it. Because
Okay.
to even feel that, you need some kind of evolution. So that evolution may not be there, but something is definitely taking place. Some spiritual power is entering you. You may not feel it, but it may gradually manifest itself. It may gradually manifest itself.
Okay.
Did I
Super.
make
Great, Maharaj.
any sense?
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Definitely.
yeah, just like a seed sown grows into a sapling, it germinates. Similarly, that is why it is called Bija Mantra. This seed of mantra, it definitely comes out as a plant. But you may not feel it immediately, but you will feel it slowly, gradually. Because in the Advaitic tradition, we say that the moment the Guru says Tattvamasi, the disciple is supposed to realize Aham Brahmasmi, that I am Brahman. But that doesn't happen because of the impurities in the mind. So that doesn't happen like that. But if a teacher is there, and if a student is there who is ready, and the teacher who has the knowledge of Brahman, the moment the teacher says Tattvamasi, immediately the student should get the idea of Aham Brahmasmi.
Whereas I want that Sat Sampatti wale ka complete point.
Shatka Sampatti. Shatka Sampatti. It is called Shatka Sampatti. So it is first one is Shama. Then you have Dama, control of external sense organs. This is also there. Shama, Dama. Uparati. Uparati.
Parati.
Uparati is you take away your mind from the sense objects. You take away your mind from sense objects. Then you have Titiksha. Titiksha means forbearance. Then you have Shraddha. Shraddha means whatever is told in the scripture and whatever your teacher instructs. Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Vishwasa. That is Shraddha. You have an unshakable belief on these things. Then you have Samadhana. Samadhana means constant concentration on your goal, that is God or Brahman. So these are the 6 things. First one is Shama. 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 Shama means you remove your mind from all the sense objects and you make your mind steadfast. Steadfast. That is called Shama. Then there is Dhamma. Dhamma means it is not of mind but of the sense organs. You turn your sense organs away from the sense objects. That is called Dhamma or self-control. Then there is Titiksha. Titiksha means in Vivek Chudamani it is told Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigatyate. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. You bear all the suffering apratikara purvakam, without reacting, and also without chinta, without thinking about it or lamenting about it. Vilapa. You go on telling everybody, I suffer like this, suffer like this. You don't do that. That is called titiksha, forbearance. Then you have Shastrasya Guru Vakyeshu, Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Vishwasa. Means you first listen to what the scripture says, listen to what the Guru says, then you judge about them, and then finally you have firm conviction in that. That is Shraddha. That is called Shraddha. Swamiji says, what is the difference between one person who is successful and another person who is not? It is the difference of Shraddha. And then you have Samadhana. Samadhana means your mind is established on the higher truth. These are the Shatka Sampatti, 6 wealth of qualities. Clear hua?
Hanji Maharaj.
Any other question?
Maharaj, Sahanam Sarvadukhanam, it's okay. Apratikara Purvakam, also okay. Chinta Vilapo Rahitam, very.
यही तो चक्कर है भाया. That is what.
चिंता तो
चिंता भी होगा और विलाप भी होगा. Like you have some problem in the house, you go and tell your colleague in the office. You have problem in the office, you come and tell to your spouse. So some चिंता. और दोनों जगह, घर में भी प्रॉब्लम, ऑफिस में भी प्रॉब्लम, तो दोस्त से बोलो तो कुछ तो होगा, है ना. यही तो चक्कर है ना. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
It will be very high or ideal.
Ideal is high, but it can also be practiced. First thing we have to follow is constantly, whatever we do, we have to think whether it is real or unreal. In every action, we have to have that thinking. And we should be dispassionate about things. These 2 things, if we start, other things will automatically come. These 2 things we have to start.
Maharaji, the qualification what you mentioned, Vairagya and Vivek and the Sadaka Sampati and desire to know the liberation, right? So it appears so much complex to me as of now. So now I think personally I need to be qualified enough to know this first qualification only. So how to make
to know
on the way to yes. So I still find it very difficult to me now. So we have to understand very well that how to follow Viveka and how to follow the Vairagya. Then only we can go to further stage. So yeah, my question will be now. So
yeah. What is your question?
So my question was how to look for those things, like how to align your lifestyle in those process, so we can understand these qualifications.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
first you have to understand that first thing is you are not just the body and the mind, because as a human being you have also some higher reality. So when you do things, you have to constantly think of that also. When you do something, how much attached you are to what things you do, just because you do them just because your body and mind. So that you have to understand. And suppose we eat. So when we eat, Are we eating just to maintain the body, or are we eating to just satisfy our tongue? Like that, when we dress, are we
Yes, yes.
dressing because we
Yeah.
should have a decent dress to cover the body, or are we dressing because we need to show, we need to be fashionable and all that? And then similarly other
Yeah.
things, when we take bath, are we taking bath just to maintain the body, or are we pampering the body? There is this difference between pampering the body and maintaining the body. Constantly that thinking should be there. Only then this is viveka. That's why viveka starts. For example, we have
Yeah.
to practice truthfulness, so we have to constantly speak truth,
Yeah.
always speak truth. So whether
Yes.
we are able to do that,
Yeah.
that is what we have to practice.
And Maharaj, also like discrimination between the real and unreal. So it's quite relative. So the people, for them, few things are real, which may appear for others unreal. So these I feel these are relative. So how to distinguish very clearly, how to see the thing the way they are, because it's sort of relative. It appears to me.
No,
So
no, it is not relative. What when we say real or unreal, we say real or unreal in
okay.
the sense that it will, whether it is perishable or not perishable. You have to think in that aspect, whether it is perishable or non-perishable. So
Okay.
that is same for everybody. That is same for everybody. Suppose you take
Okay.
something, say wood or something, it is perishable. You take your body, it is
Okay.
perishable. So whether it is real or unreal means whether it is temporary or permanent. That is the viveka you have to do. Not right or wrong. What you are talking about is right or
Uh-huh.
wrong. What may be right for one person or a given situation may not be right in another situation or another circumstance or another person.
Uh,
So I am not
yeah,
talking,
Mike, Maharaj,
when I say viveka,
sure.
it is not a question of
Uh-huh.
morality. It is not a question of
Okay.
ethics, but it is whether this thing will stay or will not stay. Means whether it is perishable, whether it is temporary, or whether it is permanent. So most of the things, or almost all the things which we come across, are all temporary.
Okay. Maharaj, my question was in this direction. Like, suppose talking of God, so many people they believe that worshipping a statue and the images that will lead us to a God. And a few people they follow like we are God, Aham Brahman. So there also we have certain difference in the opinion for the same thing. So
No,
how do we see that?
that may be, but when you
Yeah.
say God, God is not something which is perishable. Whatever a person may
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
but God is never something which is perishable, or God is never something which is not permanent. God is permanent.
Okay.
So that's what. So we have to
Okay.
take that and go forward. We have to understand it like that.
Okay. Yeah.
The statue may be
Mm.
temporary. The god that stands behind the statue is a permanent entity.
Yeah, that is true. But I was talking because the way we perceive God, the way we perceive God, that methods are different
No,
for
that
the
may be
people.
okay, but that way which you perceive God is also temporary.
Yeah.
That way which
Okay.
you
Yeah.
perceive God is also
But
temporary. So we are not talking
but
about.
Maharaji, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Tell
should
me.
be very persistent about the we should be very persistent about the process, because through that way we have to attain the God, because if we are not very faithful to the opinion what we believe about the God, then it may lead in the different direction. So if we are very much comfortable in the icons, we think with the statue or with the image we can attain the God, then that faith should be very prominent and that should be very persistent.
No, no, you are
So
going
it
beyond the
is
point. Actually, you see, here Viveka is
uh,
not about that. You may be
okay, okay, yeah.
persistent
Yeah, yeah, I
about the
understand.
path, but God in itself,
Yeah,
you have to be clear about that. So if you take
yeah,
temple, whether it is perishable, it is perishable. Temple is temporary.
mm,
So if you say that
yeah,
no temple is, then what will happen is you
yeah,
will get attached to temple.
yeah, yeah. Correct.
Mhm. So that is why
That's true.
you have to constantly do viveka, means You have to constantly discernment. You have to.
Okay.
Somewhat about Mantra Diksha, Maharaj.
Mantra Diksha. Mantra Diksha is a particular mantra, a particular word and a syllable is given to the disciple, and that syllable is something, that mantra is something which has been chanted or repeatedly what you call practiced by the guru, and it is a siddha mantra, means that mantra has led to a realization, means the person who practiced that has got a realization of that mantra.
Okay.
So it becomes siddha mantra, and only a person who is realized will give you the mantra. And then the mantra is of different, broadly it has two parts. One is the bija, there is one, some like reem, aim, like that, some word will be there. Then there will be some name of some deity, and then there will be a salutation or something like that. So this is what the mantra has got. So that mantra in its whole has to be chanted. And when you chant a mantra, because it is Siddha mantra, that mantra has been used to get realization of the truth. When you chant the mantra, then what happens is you invoke that particular energy, and by invoking that energy, over a period of time your mind is purified. Mantra actually first purifies your mind, and then your mind becomes completely pure, and the true spirit of the mantra is shown to you. So that is what Sri Ram Swamiji says, mantra drashta, means you see the mantra or the essence of the mantra that is shown to you. That becomes very, it opens up before you, and that is why mantra is important. But the same mantra given by other person will not work, because it is not just the syllable but also the person who gives it. It's very important.
Yes.
And then mantra should be, even a person, if the person without respect or without reverence goes on practicing a mantra, even that has an effect on that person. So mantra in itself is very powerful. Even if, just like fire, even if you don't know about its burning power, it will burn. Even if you don't know about its burning power, it will burn. Similarly, mantra, even if you know about its sanctifying power or purifying power, it will purify. And even if you don't know about its purifying power, it will purify. That is why we have this legend of Valmiki, where he was told to repeat Mara Mara, and it became Rama Rama. So he was unable to say Rama, and then he was told to repeat it opposite. But even that created some effect.
Maharaj, when the President Maharaj or Vice President Maharaj giving the people to the mantra diksha, like are he giving telling the meaning of that mantra? Like
Meaning, yeah,
when do people will meaning of the mantra?
meaning, yes, meaning is told in their own way, they are told. But if you have to go into the deeper meaning, then you will have to ask for a separate interview, etc.
Okay. Suppose I took mantra from one guru, can I share with you or some other people to know the meaning or anything, any information?
Usually, gurus say not to divulge the mantra.
Okay.
Gurus, they advise against divulging the mantra. The reason is, if you are of the same guru, you have taken mantra, that is all right. But otherwise, they say, because mantras are just words for people who do not know. So when you tell this to somebody, they will say it is all about belief. Then they will say, oh, only this much, oh, that. Because Sri Ramakrishna also gives an example of a person who was crossing a river, and then Rama was written, and then in a slip of paper, and was given to that person. Then the person asked, how will I cross the river? Just you keep this with you. And the person was crossing. Then in the middle of the river, that person got doubt. What is that written so powerful in this slip of paper that I am able to walk on water? And he opened and saw that Rama is written. Then he said, oh, only this much. Then immediately he was drowned. So this belief is very important. Belief is very important. So if you tell this mantra to somebody, they'll say, oh, only this much. This is nothing. So that belief goes away. That is why people are told not to divulge the mantra.
Regarding japa, when we do japa, means many a times it becomes mechanical, or we are like doing something and maybe we are doing japa. Is that fine? Because then we are not focusing on the mantra as such, but we may be just doing it mechanically. Does
So
that
Sri
help? Or?
Ramakrishna also tells that somebody is going to the bazaar and purchasing maybe fish or something and doing japa like that. Many people you can see, they have this japa bag, make a big show of that, constantly go here and there doing japa. That way you cannot do japa. Repetition of the mantra has to be done with a fully focused mind. You cannot just talk to people. Some people come and attend lectures and they are doing japa like that. It is all show off. You cannot do japa like that. If you want to practice repetition of a mantra, it has to be done with full focus, full concentration. Otherwise, you are making a mockery of the whole thing.
But then they say that means I should do japa all the time, ideally. And so
Yeah, all the
how
time.
to,
But then that will come with lot of practice. With lot of practice. It will not come in one day. And it will come with lot of practice, and that practice will lead you to Sri Ramakrishna says that you need to just give one part of your mind to the world, and 16 parts you can give to the God. 15 parts you can give to God.
but while we are doing our work, is it not recommended to give like 100% there, or at most maximum
No, it is.
focus
That's
there?
what. That's what. It's all depending on how you train your mind. If your mind is very powerful, but the problem is we don't even think about it as powerful. So you train the mind in such a way that you can do a lot of work, and at the same time you don't need to spend so much of mind there. It is possible only if you train the mind in that manner.
So it is in a way multitasking, right?
Yes, yes, it is multitasking, but there you don't actually give up anything. It is multitasking, but you have you are in full control.
Usually in multitasking, like we are caught up in doing two things at a time, so we are not able to focus completely on
No,
either of them.
multitasking. You see, in earlier days, in Indian tradition, we had people who could do 100 things at a time, who could do 1,000 things at a time. The Sahasravadana, Shatavadana, etc. So they are people who can concentrate at 100 places. So multitasking is not a new thing. For India, it is a very old thing. But those people were not multitasking with a non-focused mind, unfocused mind, but with a focused mind. So that is possible. So your mind should be, these people can put their mind at the same time at 100 places. So that kind of training should be there.
Our mind is also at 100 places, but unfocused.
It is not focused, that's what. So we should be focused. Any other question you have?
Maharaj, my mind, lot of lot of time my mind just for name and fame. Like whatever way I'm thinking, my mind pulling me to get the name, and I'm unable to pull my mind back from that thought.
What do
Is
you
there
want?
any?
Name and fame.
Yes, name and fame. Like
Whenever
I want to
you
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever you are in a confusion about things which you want, you see what are the bad results that thing can give. So people who had name and fame, what is the one consequence of name and fame is that you cannot do anything without other people knowing it. That's a huge disadvantage of being famous. So only for that reason need we should not be famous. You see, just imagine Amitabh Bachchan. Can Amitabh Bachchan go to any place without people noticing it? Is it possible? Huh?
No. Very difficult for you.
So it is not possible. That means that is not means it is not necessary. It is not advisable, no, to become so famous. No, okay, you may say I don't want to become famous like Amitabh Bachchan. थोड़ा सा कम famous होने से भी चलेगा. So that if you say, but still,
But
yeah.
You may not
Maharaj,
have
like
fame, but
Shankaracharya.
recognition.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, like Shankaracharya. He is a famous spiritual guru or god. So is this not like his name like spread out all over the world?
No, but when Shankaracharya was alive, he did not want his name to spread. He spread only the message. He did not want his name to spread. Swamiji also did not want his name to spread. He wanted that the message be spread. These are two different things, you see. Spreading the message is different, but spreading the name is different. These people never bothered about name. In fact, Swamiji never used the name of Sri Ramakrishna. He was never bothered about name. He was never bothered about the name. He was bothered only about the message. Shankaracharya was bothered only about the message because they were compassionate. They were seeing people suffering, and so they wanted that they should be protected. They should be given a what you call way out of suffering. Buddha did not want himself to become famous.
Oh.
Their fame increased only after their death, actually.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. It was difficult for me to catch.
Fine line.
The fine line between message and name. It was like difficult for me
No,
to
that is
like catch.
difficult to catch. No, very simple. The person who is giving the message, if you want to know whether that person wants to become famous or not, put him in a stressful situation. Give him suffering and see. Swamiji once he did not take food for whole day, but he was going on talking on Vedanta. So you give them a suffering and then they will know whether they give importance to their name or whether they give importance to the message. You make them suffer.
Got it. But, nice. Thank you.
So today we will call it a day then.
But after that, we have the detachment topic, Maharaj.
Yeah, attachment.
Attachment and detachment. Okay.
Detachment.
Attachment. That is what I am first going to practice it by detaching for 1 week. Then we will attach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a
Maharaj.
good, nice Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Same to
See
you.
you next week.